If you guys need players, coins, or training, make sure to check out MrMuckCoin.com. Use my code Mike at checkout for 40% off of everything. It is the safest and most reliable site on the market right now. Again, use my code Mike at checkout for 40% off of everything. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of ID the Mike. This is like the first time I've uploaded this in a very long time. Shout out to the OGs that know what the series is. Essentially, I either find an offensive play, a defensive play, or just an offense or defense in general, and I share it with you guys and explain why it's so good. In today's ID the Mike, I am going to be explaining why $326 is the best defense in the game right now, and it's actually glitched. The defense is broken. Not like, oh, it's so good. There's actually a glitch in the game right now. It's a good glitch to some people, and it makes it, without a doubt, the best defense in the game, and I'm here to explain that to you guys. Guys, before I get into the meat and potatoes of this video, please come through to my stream tonight. We are going to be spending all 1 million coins and going for some strategy cards. I don't think I'm going to play that much weekend league, if any. We're going to be spending all of our coins on our no money spent account, and we're going to be going for strategy cards. It's time, boys. It is time. So defense is $326, and the playbook that I am currently running is the Washington football playbook. Now, you can also run, I want to say 4-6 and multiple defense, but those are kind of expensive. Washington's defensive playbook is not. The reason why I run this is because I can also get 3-3-5 wide in case my opponent just absolutely wants to put out 3 tight ends and run the ball as much as humanly possible. But we're in Washington and we're running $326. So the defense that I'm talking about is $326, as I said a little bit earlier in the video. The reason why this is so good is because of an actual glitch in the game, all right? I don't know if EA is doing this intentionally or not intentionally, but Dollar cannot get weak boxed. Essentially, your defensive players will not get pancaked even if they are outmatched by the offensive personnel. If somebody comes out in a set that has 2 tight ends, they will not pancake, which is not really what EA wants. In 1-4-6 and like a prevent, you would get pancaked, but for some reason, I don't really understand it, Dollar does not get pancaked. So there's a multitude of reasons as to why this is the best defense in the game, but the first one is it's really good at stopping the run. Like I said a little bit earlier, it doesn't get weak boxed, which is kind of ridiculous. There's a very easy way to shoot the gap, shift your defensive line over, run right through against a dive, an inside zone, a base from bunch, a base from chips tight end. I mean, it really doesn't matter. And being able to stop the run in a formation like Dollar, where you can have 8 defensive backs, is kind of crazy, and you don't have to worry about getting weak boxed. That right there in and of itself makes this defense at least the top 2 to 3 defense in the game. Extremely easy to stop the run. You can't get weak boxed. It's easy to shoot. It's easy to use your rush. And based on all the clips that you guys are seeing right here, I mean, like I said, it's pretty crazy. There was one time, I feel like I just got to put this out there. There was one time where I did get weak boxed. The opponent was in like, I want to say 2 running back personnel, 2 running back, 1 receiver, 2 tight ends. Maybe it was something a little different than that, but I figured I'd throw it in the video just so you guys can see that there is sometimes chances where you can get weak boxed, but it is really next to none. If you run against any of the meta formations and they try to audible down on you, it won't matter. Like if somebody's running a 2-1-2 bunch or a 2-1-2 trips tight end, it won't matter. Like you just won't get weak boxed. I played on stream for like 3 hours last night, a little bit before that, and I was able to stop the run fairly easily out of this defense. And from the clips that you guys see, I mean, honestly, it's kind of crazy how easy it is to stop the run. So that's just one reason why it's so good. Now, the second reason why it's so good is because it forces a lot of turnovers, right? When you can stop the run, but then also have 8 DBs in coverage and have really good match, really good versions of cover 2, cover 3, cover 4, man coverage, you can force a lot of turnovers. If you only have to rush, let's say 3 people and have max coverage behind, you're going to force a lot of interceptions because zones are going to play crazy. You might not even need to use zone drops. Essentially, your opponents will be confused by the looks that you give them. The main plays that I like to run is DB Fire, which is a cover 2, and then there's also a cover 6, which is like, I might be speaking ancient Egyptian to you guys right now, but it's essentially a form of cover 2 and match, essentially smashed into the same play. And I'll get into that a little bit, but this defense is really, really good at forcing turnovers. So now we're going to look at essentially the third reason, and I would say the final reason as to why I think this defense is the best defense in the game right now, coupled with the fact that 1, it's good at forcing turnovers. 2, it's fantastic against stopping the run. It cannot get weak box. Again, that is a glitch. The third and final reason is that it generates a crazy amount of pressure. Towards the end of the video, I'll show you guys all the abilities that I run with this defense. But essentially, the blitz out of here is kind of crazy, okay? If you guys remember Madden, was it Madden 18 when it was like 91 zone? A lot of people ran DB Fire. And from the clips that you guys are seeing right now, I mean, it's really, really easy to generate a lot of pressure, only sending 5. You don't even have to go crazy and send 6 or send 7. You can have solid coverage out there. You sometimes only need to send 4. It depends on where you hover. And again, once you guys hop in this defense and you test it out a little bit more, you will understand how good this really is. You gotta trust me. It generates a crazy, crazy amount of pressure. Dollar is the best defense in the game. And now that I've shown you guys the clips, the gameplay evidence as to why this defense is so good, I'm gonna hop back into practice mode and show you guys a couple of the most basic setups that I run. So now that we're in practice mode, I'm gonna hop in Dollar here. I'm gonna call DB Fire. This is essentially my run defense, and anytime I want to blitz somebody, I'm gonna go up against, let's go against Trips tight end. We can go against Bunch when we want to blitz, but just to stop the run, I'll show you what this looks like. My opponent's probably gonna call like an inside zone type thing. I like to baseline and press. I will shift my line to the way that I think the running back is running, which is essentially to the left side here. Obviously, you could do a counter, but I'm pretty sure he would run an inside zone. I'm going to crash up, which is essentially like slanting outside. That way my defensive line looks like this. And I'm going to QB contain. And you don't have to do this, but I like to blitz my user. I feel like he gets a little bit of an extra push here. I'm going to stand right behind this defensive player, and I'm going to shoot in the gap, and I'm going to hold square. I'm going to dive out for the tackle. And right there, I mean, it didn't work super well, but you guys will see it is like, I mean, it is very, very easy to stop the run. This is the most basic setup. If you guys want to see, I guess, a more in-depth type thing, you guys can come to my stream where I play a lot of time. That time, I just did a bad job at shooting that myself. But obviously, you guys see all the gameplay clips. You know, shooting the run, shooting the gaps out of $326 is not hard whatsoever. And there we go. There's another one. Just like that. Now we're going to show the blitz. Okay, so the blitz that I like to run is DB Fire 2. Now, obviously, all you really need is just 2 edge blitzers. So, like, hypothetically, you could call cover 4, drop contain, and blitz those 2 outside guys. But I like to run DB 5, so we're going to go ahead and click that. Now, we're going to run against Bunch because Bunch is a very, very popular formation. I'd say probably the most popular play in Bunch right now is vertical. So we're just going to call Pat's verts right here. Again, I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to base align. I'm going to press. And just because I want to be able to stop the run, I'm going to shift my defensive line to the right, crash outside. That way, we still have essentially the same type of run-stopping look. I'm going to quarterback contain. I'm going to sit right here. I'm going to fake in like that. And as you guys can see, I mean, he threw that ball so unbelievably fast. That's probably the best play Mac Jones has ever had in his entire life. But you guys can see that the pressure absolutely screams. We are only sending 5. In fact, I can run hard flats. That way he doesn't come in any quickly. Boom, sit like that. And I mean, he is just making some quick ass reads. But still, that is essentially how you send a blitz. Baseline, press, shift the defensive line to give it the same look as the run, crash outside, QB contain, and those 2 DBs on the outside will, I mean, they will absolutely scream. And as you guys can see, I mean, There you go. That's all you need to know. Another play I like to run is a match play. It is cover 6, show 4. So it's essentially a match on one side and then cover 2 on the other. And then let's go against, let's do verticals again. Let's do verticals. And this is the look that we're going to give it. So essentially it is match on the right side, which means those corner routes should not get open. A lot of those vertical routes should not get open. And if they run a crosser to the left, we have a cover 2 look on the left. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to base line, I'm going to press, and I'm just going to run this just stock. Obviously, I'm going to shift my line because I like to have the exact same look every single time. But I'm just going to run this stock, and I'm going to show you guys what this looks like. I'm telling you, the coverage here is pretty fantastic. As you guys can see, I mean, you got that open towards the last second there, but the Washington football team defense is not the fastest defense in terms of DBs and MUT right now, but you got to trust me. This is absolutely fantastic. Again, this was absolutely stock, so the quarter should be able to play that outside there, and he has to throw it away. Now, some other adjustments that you can run, you can put on zone drops, you can run hard flats. So I sometimes like to do a baseline press, and then I'll do a cloud flat, so it's shade up and shade down. I have my mid read here. Maybe I will man up the running back, and I will shift my defensive line just like that. Maybe I'll do man up the tight end for a delay fade, and then I'll sit like this. That way we have matched a cloud flat. We have 2 guys manned up. Beautiful, just like that. And as you can see, literally every single person is covered, okay? I'm not going to sit here and explain every single adjustment I do on every single play. One last thing I guess you can do is you can blitz these 2 outside guys. So we're going to blitz this outside corner. We're going to blitz this outside corner. And then we're going to put this bad boy right here, X, this middle linebacker, on a curl flat. But if we shade down and shade up, that essentially puts him in a cloud flat. We're going to shift our line. So now we have a very similar look to DB Fire, but we have match on the right side, which can be actually kind of crazy. So I'll go ahead and show you guys how this looks. Again, we're sending the blitz. We have match. And I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, there's just absolutely nothing open. And again, the way that I ran that, again, this is just something that I guess you kind of need to get used to in running this defense. And once you start to run it, you'll start to understand it a lot more. Again, I'm essentially stopping the run out of this, right? If he runs base, I can absolutely shoot it. We have match on the right side. We're sending a screamer, and that time Montez Sweat came in. I think that was like a B gap or C gap disengage type thing. But I mean, this defense is kind of insane, okay? I'm not going to sit here and claim that I found it or I figured it out, but I was watching Skimbo's stream, and he said Dollar doesn't get weak boxed. I was like, damn, is that true? Went tested it myself. He is correct, as I suspected. And well, this is where we are. Dollar is the best defense in the game, and I mean, it's just it's just really not close. So that's really all I'm going to show in practice mode. If you want to see more, you can come by my stream whenever I play Weekend League. Obviously, I'm going to be running this, but this stuff is fantastic. Let's go to Ultimate Team, and I'll show you guys some of the best abilities to run. Okay, so we are on my Ultimate Team right now. The abilities that I am rocking that I think are probably the most important would be some form of acrobat or mid-zone KO. As you guys can see, I have acrobats on all 3 of my corners. Now, the defensive line chemistries actually are pretty solid. I'll throw in a clip here, and again, I might have shown it a little bit earlier before, but double or nothing can go kind of crazy sometimes. So I like to put in double or nothing because I don't really blitz every single play. There's a lot of plays where I only rush 3, and having 2 double or nothings, I know it's 6 AP in total, but having 2 double or nothings, you can definitely generate some solid pressure. Really, the only thing that I would suggest is having 2 acrobats at your 2 linebacker positions. So for me, it's Cam Chancellor, and then my other sub linebacker is Mr. Jamal Adams. I use him at the linebacker position. I have 2 acrobats on both of them. Those 2 inside cornerbacks that are blitzing, I normally don't have any abilities on them, just the 2 outside guys, Surtain and Ramsey. They have abilities like acrobats. So those are the abilities that I personally like to run. Again, any form of acrobat, mid-zone KO, or maybe a version of double or nothing or unpredictable. Again, you can really just try those out. These are all just kind of random. The abilities this year are not super important. It's just really kind of all up to preference, to be honest with you. Again, like I said, Washington playbook is the playbook I'm running, but multiple defense and 4-6 defense also have dollar, 3-2-6, and 3-3-5 wide, which is what I'm currently running. I think that's pretty much it. There's a lot of information. I get that, but that's what these videos are for. Try to give you guys as much information as I possibly can. All right, well, hopefully you guys did enjoy that video. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below, subscribe if you're new, and guys, I will see you in my next upload. Peace.